What is the crack? Welcome back to yet another episode of the My Team series for Randall's Racers. Today it's Austria after, a Canada race, which we scraped the podium after having a pile up on the line. But with that podium, we extended our championship lead to over 30 points. So no matter what happens today, we're guaranteed to go into Silverstone with the championship lead. But yeah, with Austria, there is rain planned for qualifying, a wet qualifying, so that could really mess up the order. Dry race still, so maybe some normality brought back for the race, but qualifying could be interesting, which we will go to right now. So we got wet qualifying here, and with wet qualifying, it could be weird. It's supposed to be going down soon, so this is just a bank run, get the inters working, so just being sped up. It's not gonna be a fast one lap anyway, because track's just gonna get progressively better. Wet qualifying is always weird, because you need to be out on the right time to get qualified. Even the has to qualify, you never know. But here we go for our first proper lap. You can see we went really slow, but then we got the fastest middle last second though. Track is definitely coming to us. We're already well over a second, 2 seconds, just halfway up the hill. Coming into the hairpin now, just fastest through the first sector. We're definitely out on the right time now. It could progressively get better. It's supposed to get heavier later on into the session, not the Q1, but the qualifying session. So that's something to keep an eye out for. It's getting heavier and lighter by the looks of it on the weather panel. So it's all about getting out on the right time so we don't mess up and we don't get a shock elimination early. Because even though we have a healthy lead at the moment, a couple bad races can ruin it. So we don't want to be in that position where we let the likes of Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas have a sniff at an idea of making a championship battle for us. We want to just continue driving the way we've been driving, gain those podiums, and hopefully gain the championship. Which at this stage, it'll be ludicrous saying we're not the championship, but we cross the line, we go fastest. Then the track appeared to get better because we finished 10th overall. George Russell just making it through. Ocon, Aiken, the shocks out with the wet qualifying. Vettel the fastest though, but it's got worse the weather. It's full wets for Q2 now. I don't know, let's check the area.
Radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. Full wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
So for now it's just full wet. It could go dangerous towards the end of the session. We need to be careful about that. But for now it's full wet, and I just hate driving with wet tires. They're just heavy, clunky. They're not nice to drive. I like inters though. I don't know why, but the wets just feel like make the car feel heavy and clunky. We'll go fastest in the first sector, but yeah, just these kind of turns, just very clunky driving through, just on the wets. I don't even think I had a wet setup for this. I think I had a dry setup because the race is supposed to be dry, so maybe if I had a wet setup it'd be feeling nicer, but I was more focused on the race obviously, because Austria's a track where you can afford to have a bad qualifying because it's so easy to qualify on. It's so easy to overtake on, sorry. But yeah, we prioritize the race with the setup, so a dry setup for wet qualifying. So yeah, you can see why we're a bit clunky through these kind of corners. Don't know how we didn't spin it. We definitely went on the grass, or millimeters off going on the grass there. We've kept it. I'm just gonna do the last couple corners to finish our Q2 lap, unless it warrants inters. But yeah, we go fastest somehow. And it was able for 5th fastest. Ricardo, ow, that's a shock. But yeah, we're through. Russell's through. We did a banker run as we always do. Managed to put us 4th. Well, whatever way the weather was, but it's qualified. We can actually manually tune the outlaps better, so I'm just gonna do that. It's like everyone's out when between Russell and Bottas, I believe, was behind us. But yeah, we're trying to maintain best of that gap as we can. We have enough time to get the lap in anyway. No risk of missing off the line. I think it's Charles Leclerc provisional pole if I remember rightly. We managed to get fourth on the U7 Inters in the first run. I think we just stopped the right time because we did wait a bit. But I just don't show the... okay, we just spun. We clipped the curb by mistake and just want to spin our out lap. I got that happen on our real lap. We're just trying to avoid everyone somehow. It looks like they're out. And Gasly is out. Gasly and Vettel, this is all we can get. I don't know what happened. I think Gasly rear-ended Bottas. That's all we got from it. Because we can't be replaced that far in qualifying, unfortunately. But yeah, Gasly got... Bottas just stopped on the track, I think. Gasly rear-ended him, and then Vettel just started driving him. All caused by our spin. We were able to hit the line anyway. We had Barris's in the first sector. We're only slightly up on our time though. Hamilton's gone provisional pole at the moment. Leclerc on provisional pole now with a 10.5. We're a 10th up. Oh, it's close. It's gonna be close. 2 tenths. We're gaining the time now. Just awesome Bottas to complete the laps to the side qualifying. We're 8th at the moment. Track set we got there. We get a couple tenths for the last couple corners. 3 tenths. Going to be 4 tenths up, and then where is that going to put us?
The grid. Hamilton, the owner driver, and Charles Leclerc.
Hamilton on pole. Bottas has a penalty, so I guess definitely warranted. His fault. Gives a 5-place grid penalty for that. Russell 9th. It's going to become 8th with Bottas grid penalty, but we're on the front row for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 meters above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Why don't we start by talking about Valtteri Bottas? They're in for a tough race today. They'll be starting out of position due to a penalty from earlier in the weekend.
It's unfortunate, but it happens to everyone at some point. You just have to accept your fate, knuckle down and get on with the business of making up that deficit during the Grand Prix. So they'll be pushing hard today. One to watch for sure.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and the owner driver alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Carlos Sainz and Vettel, Norris, Russell, Bottas and Pierre Gasly, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll and Verstappen, Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon and Kimi Raikkonen, Aitken, Joe, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
We got 5 lights, they're out. Away we go. We get Bears on Hamilton. We'll go wheel to wheel with the 7-time world champion. But Hamilton gets a bare second phase. Perez looking to possibly get second. We're going wheel to wheel with Sergio Perez. We're actually got the better exit. We got the slipstream on Hamilton going up the hill. Everyone makes it through turn 1 fine. We're already put a gap on Perez. Perez did not get a good line. He's getting battled from the Ferrari. We're going to go on the inside. We've gone off the track. So we can't get the position. We managed to keep second place though due to battling behind us. But we went off the track unfortunately. Could have been a massive dive bomb. We just did not have the grip to stay on the track. Had to go off with no penalty because we did not get an advantage from it. But Hamilton leads. We almost had a way better start on him, but he just had a way better second phase, and then was forced to battle Perez. Hamilton's already put a gap. Hamilton's yet to win this season. I think Bottas has 1 win. But Hamilton's failed to win at all this season. It was kind of a shock. But Hamilton leads odds, leads Perez, Sainz, Norris, Vettel, Leclerc, Russell, Gasly, Bottas. That's the top 10 going into lap 2. So just Hamilton only has a second on us at the moment. So he's just going to pull away, I think. Hamilton. I think Hamilton has this in the bag. Should be at least Perez possibly gain a slipstream on us. He looks like he's getting closer, but no, we're good for now. We know we have the straight line speed compared to all the fastest car on the grid on the straights. So this track should benefit us, but Hamilton's just been it.
We're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Well, that's not what we hear on a power track. We're having engine problems. As I'm speaking about how fast we are with the engines, we get told they have engine problems. Icon on the bottom right there, just showing engines getting worn. So we are just going to be a sitting duck as we come on to lap 7. There's a bit of a gaps forming. Carlos Sainz though is on our rear. DRS is available now. Carlos Sainz, he's going to go for a dive bomb. We make contact. Don't know how I don't have damage. Don't know if Sainz, but Sainz has DRS. He's going to get second place with these, but we go behind the slipstream. We still have the power somehow with engine issues, and we go down the inside into turn 4 to maintain second place somehow. But we go into lap 8 and we manage to pull away a bit as it's going to be potentially free right. Sainz pulls out of it. Vettel and Norris now battling into the hairpin. Vettel and Norris wheel to wheel to develop the ERS. They do. So it's going to be a straight drag race between Vettel and Norris. Sainz there to pick up the scraps. Norris gets a bit iffy going into turn 4, but Norris looks like he has the position. Norris looks like he has third position. Vettel 4th. Sainz lost 2 positions. Let's go to lap 11, and oh yeah, by the way, Norris had wing damage somehow for like the billionth time this season. I swear he gets wing damage every race. It's like irrelevant, but we will lock up going into turn 3, and Vettel just exceeds that position. And he seems way further ahead than Sainz was on us a couple laps before, but we're still gonna look. Nah, I had a half a look going into turn 4 and for the move we got Sainz, but we had to concede the position to the 4-time world champion. And Sainz looks like he's going to go on the inside of us now into turn 5. We're having tire issues now, I think, and the engine. I think engine's finally going as we're just understeering every corner. We're just going to box. We're losing tire grip everywhere. We lost 3 positions in like 2 turns. Grip just fade away, and we have to be very careful not to rear end Gasly. We've seen Gasly already having some rear ending issues, but we're coming into the pits early. We were just understeering every corner and that just let everyone through. So we just had to pit early. Our pit now for the mediums should be able to get us to the end. I think it's mediums, right? Yeah, mediums. So getting a front wing change. I'm guessing that's when we had battle with Sainz, but that's about Alonso ahead of us now. That might explain why we were understeering now. We had the wing damage. But I wasn't feeling it till then. We're going ahead a couple laps later, and we have Tsunoda, Ricciardo battling with us. Ricciardo was knocked down Q1. We get a very poor exit in turn 1. Tsunoda is going to go take the racing line. He's going to take the outside line, but we're going to try and take the inside line to keep the position. We go a bit deep into turn 3. I position our car to the point where Tsunoda's still behind us. Sides pit also, and I presume he had wing damage also because he's behind us. But Vettel's coming out of the pits now. He's slightly ahead of us. If we didn't have the wing damage, we would have probably been ahead of him, but we did. But Ricciardo's now going to make a move for P7 at the moment. Others have to stop ahead of us though, I'm pretty sure. Ricciardo gets the move, but we have DRS. So we're going to come back at the Aussie. No shoes today, Daniel. No shoes. He's very audacious on the field. We're going to take the racing line. He was moving around a lot there. What's illegal? I don't know, but we don't have the grip to get it as we can make a move into turn 5. But we got with some very borderline legal defending there. He was moving around like jelly on that straight. Like I don't know where I wanted to put the car. Like I was originally going to go for the inside, and I was supposed to go the outside barely because Ricciardo just kept moving around. But being able to maintain. This is to Ricciardo. due to Gasly, I believe. Yeah, Gasly not stopping yet, so he's been slowing. He's been slowing down people, slowing down Vettel. But Vettel looks like he's finally going to get the move on Gasly, and we might be in position to get a move on Ricciardo. He's going to have DRS though off the Frenchman, but we have a better run off the hairpin, and we're going to look to go down the inside. But you're way too deep for our liking. Daniel's probably there thinking that's not how I do it, mate. So once again, we just have to sit and wait another lap as he's behind Gasly now. So Gasly's going to hold him up so we don't lose distance, and we're going to have a DRS attempt now. Gasly's now pitting, so it's just free air now. We have the DRS now. Daniel has no assistance. DRS, ERS, slipstream. Usually would say faster edges. Daniel's going to cover the inside, so we're just going to take the racing line. But Daniel hops the curb, but we still have DRS, and we're going to make this move simply now. Daniel, weird defense.
P4, you're into P4.
Also, how's Alonso second? But we go 26 and we spun. Oh no, what happened there? We just spun it. We were running third, and we just dropped it. We're going to come back on the track. Oh, legal. And Fernando, you good there, mate? BSC because of that. Yeah. Fernando just tried to rear end us casually. Like, we came back on the track and he just casually decides to rear end us. But yeah, we spun it. We're in 6th now. We were in 3rd, and then we spun. Few yellow flags around the place. Is that going to warrant the safety car? No, I guess someone spawned the looks of it. They just caught themselves again.
The car ahead is 1.5 seconds.
Now we're just trying to catch up there. When Norris is in 3rd, Stroll 4th, Bottas 5th, Jack Aiken 7th. Good day for the Aston Martins. Yeah, remember they got a podium in Bahrain. Good times. But yeah, Stroll's definitely slower. Bottas got ahead of him, and so did Norris. Now we're just going to try and gain on him now. We get past him for P5. This has become a damage limitation race as Vettel's well in 2nd. Helms is running away with this race, but Vettel's what I'm more concerned about. Russell's in 8th with fastest lap, so it could be some decent points for the team if we can make up a few positions. I think best we can get realistically is 5th, knowing the engine problems. I don't think we'll be able to catch Bottas and Norris. But 5 laps to go. Once again, DRS, ERS on the Aston Martin, but Ricciardo's looking for the move now. Ricciardo's come back at us looking for P6, and Ricciardo's going to have a better line because we're blocked by Stroll. We had to brake earlier, but we somehow find lines on the outside to stay wheel to wheel with the Aussie, and we still have DRS, but Ricciardo started to smack us. I don't know what Ricciardo's got issues with us today, but we're going to be forced to brake a bit early because Stroll's directly in front of us. But we are able to keep the traction. Can we keep? No, Ricciardo's got ahead of us. We could get 5th, we could get 5th, we could get 7th in this race. I don't know at this rate. Just have to stay on the rear of Ricciardo. Hope Stroll holds him up, because getting past Stroll is going to be easier than getting past Ricciardo. You know, had to make sure we did this quick because there's a chasing pack behind us, including Russell, Sainz, Perez, Leclerc. All who want points. But behind, Ricciardo looks like he's going to make the move on Stroll. He's going to take the inside line. They both get pulled. We just breeze past Stroll. Don't know how we didn't make contact. Ricciardo somehow has DRS, but we're going to try and take the inside line. It'll be a braking game if we just make sure Ricciardo does not have the space to dive us. Ricciardo's going to have DRS now. On this, we're going to take the inside line. We're going to not wait around like a madman like he does. We're going to force him to take the line he forced us to take all the time and just go. See, that's what it's like, Daniel, to get told you're not allowed to make the move. But penultimate lap, Stroll's coming back at us. He's had a second wind. He looked out of it, but he's had a second wind. He wants that 5th position. He's very brave on the brakes, but he has... Look at how many people behind us, Jesus Christ. Stroll does not have DRS. He's about to get bullied. I think Russell's got past Ricciardo. Or has he? I don't know. We're still battling with Stroll, trying to make sure we get this 5th position. Oh my god, Stroll's about to get bullied. Ricciardo's got past Stroll. I think there's a few people getting past Stroll. I don't think Stroll's gained points, sadly. but it's going to come down to one more lap. Ricardo
9.9
almost
seconds.
rear ends us there. Jesus Christ. Look at the. It's got more dark orange. Jesus Christ, our engine is dying. Will we make it to the end? I don't know. Oh, it's gonna be a scary last lap. Look at the chaos behind us, and we're having engine issues. Ricardo's gonna look to make the move into turn one. We get the better line though. We're going to go to the TV view for this. We have no DRS, and we have a bunch of people with DRS behind us. Ricardo and Russell look the only thing can move. We're going to try and benefit our teammate. We're going to block off Ricardo so Russell can get through. Free ride into the hairpin. We get a good line. Ricardo doesn't get a good line. He has wing damage. I don't know why. But Russell's going to come on us. We were trying to benefit game position, and he just takes the position off us. What is that? Meanwhile, for Hamilton has well dominated this race. Put simply, I forgot he was in this race. To be honest, he just took the lap one. I just went. Lewis Hamilton wins the first race of the season, and look how far back Sebastian Vettel is in second. Hamilton has dominated this race. Like, he just took off. We had a chance into turn one, but we didn't take it. We went wide into turn three. Didn't take it. Sebastian Vettel takes second place, and Lando Norris, after God knows how many races, pinging the score due to having wing damage. Yeah, wing damage in this race, for God's sake. Gets third. George Russell, there's going to be some conversations after this race. We try to benefit him to get past Ricardo, and he decides to get ahead of us. Gets best result for the team. We get 6, and just look at the line behind us. Ricardo, Sainz, Stroll, Leclerc finish the points.
What a great race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think that smart time management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So Lewis Hamilton wins his first race of the season. Vettel comes second. Norris, after gaining his trillionth wing damage this season, gets a podium. But the big talking point for us is the fact Russell decided to overtake us. He's not on the championship fight. We are. I know we're still going to be leading this championship, obviously, but this could hurt us. The 2 points could be the difference, especially with Vettel gaining second. Hamilton could be back in the fight. Bottas outscored us. In fact, Hamilton's gone to second. 28-point lead though, so we're still going to lead after Silverstone. Russell moves up to 13th. Yeah, I don't know what he needed. He'd still be 13th if he didn't even make that move. But yeah, we seem to run away with 3 points off Mercedes in the constructors. But until Silverstone